Hi, Pranay Srinivasan. Welcome to the Edno podcast, the rankers of Ednovate. This is something which is very, very close to my heart. So, a warm welcome to you, Pranay. And we have with us AIR 40, Pranay Srinivasan. His journey of focus, discipline, and inspiration that every aspiring CA will want to hear. He's also one of the most humble and modest person I've met. Very, very humble. I've spoken with him on a couple of occasions. Super congratulations on this achievement, AIR 40 Pranay. How is the feeling? Tell me.
Thank you. Well, thank you very much. I'm very glad to be here. So when I got the result, for me, it didn't feel anything special, to be very honest, because I already knew that I would be getting between 30th to 50th rank. And this was what I deserved based on the hard work I had done. So I would say I was maybe a bit happy, but not nothing more than that.
Yeah. So Pranay is someone who's very contented. That's what he kind of planned. This is what he wanted to achieve, then he had achieved it. But Pranay, for a lot of people, maybe it's a far-fetched dream. For you, you have worked hard and achieved your dream, and that's why I said that you're a very goal-oriented person, very impressed with your focus. We really have to celebrate our small achievements in life. That makes us human. That makes us happy. So now starting the questions, the feeling has sunk in. It's all your hard work. What inspired you to pursue CA as a career path?
So I would say right from my young age, my father was one of my inspirations because he himself is a CA.
Oh, wow.
And yes, and upon finding more, I found that CA was very interesting, and I felt, and also because it was challenging as well, so I felt like it would be suitable for me.
Understood. So Pranay likes challenges. So great. And good to know that your father has been an inspiration for this. Tell me, who was the first person who truly believed, other than you, to secure a rank, and how did they believe influence your journey?
So I think the first person who told me that I could secure a rank was one of my teachers. So, actually, his name is Smith, sir, to be specific. So
Okay.
he had told me that I have the potential to secure a rank, and that was inspired me also when he said that. So and that gave me a push. So yeah.
No, absolutely. We have this system where we identify kids who can secure a rank or has the caliber to secure a rank. And I think all these teachers help us in figuring that out. Smith sir, Amit sir, Dhaval sir, and other professors have been very instrumental in doing that because a lot of times it's just that little push, just the belief that someone believe in me and we do all the hard work for them. So good to know that. And who is the first person whom you shared your rank with? Like once you got to know you have got a rank, and just help me narrate the incident. Like when you were seeing your result, it always helps to relive that moment again on the podcast.
Yes. So I think it was on a Sunday morning, and I just decided to check the website at around 8 a.m. when I woke up to see if it is updated. And then I noticed that the results had already come out, which was a bit surprising. And then I decided to check my marks. It showed 450. So and it was obviously fine. I mean, it was what I was expecting. And I checked the rank list as well. So and then I saw it was all India rank 40. So I informed first my father because he was nearby, and then my sister as well. And my mother was outside, so eventually I informed her, and then slowly I had my other relatives as well. And then a lot of them congratulated me. So it was a really good day.
Yeah. So the feeling has already sunk in, and I think your parents, relatives must be super, super proud of you. Getting an AIR, it's a great achievement. I did score an AIR in my inter as well. And I know that it's a feeling which you just, because these are smaller milestones, right? You're still a kid. What else you will achieve? This is the achievement. Like once you go to the professional journey, right? There are other achievements which you will have. But as a student, my only achievement is my academics, right? If I'm not a sports person, which I was not. Pranay, could you help me walk us through your daily study routine, especially during the study leave? And what methods or strategies do you used to follow? What it is about? Just let us know.
So my study plan is might be a bit surprising because it's not like anything a standard ranker would do. So maybe once the study leave started, so the first 2 or 3 weeks I had to complete some of my backlog. So that was my complete focus during that time. And then after that, I think I had around 2 months left, March and April. So during that entire time, I was able to complete one full revision, but it
Wow.
was a detailed revision. So I made sure to cover everything. And on average, I would say I studied maybe around 5 to 6 hours a day, not more
Just
than that.
just 5 to 6 hours. You're trying to tell me.
Yes,
So what do you used to do in your balance time during the study leave? Right, only 5 to 6 hours a day.
yes.
Oh wow, that's amazing. With AI 40, what would you have done if you would have just double up it to 6 to 12 hours? AI one, Pranay, I'm expecting that in CA final now. Then
I could have, I know that I mean, if I'd studied more, certainly the result would have been better. But I never wanted a rank. I was just happy to learn and gain knowledge. And for me, repeated studying was something I was not very interested in. In fact, during the month of April, just before the exams, I started studying CA final because I got bored of CA inter.
here I have
So,
one more person talking like I've already started preparing for CA final because I knew I'll clear CA inter. So this is I will say a vision which a person of your age carrying. It's incredible, Pranay. And as I say, I'm learning with every individual I'm talking to. I feel that I'm a mature person because of my age, but having speaking with all of you, I realize that at your age, maybe 19 years old or 18 years old, you are, pearls of wisdom is flowing out, right? But it is how you do every revision. So even if you have just done two revisions, but if you have done them thoroughly, I think you have the caliber to score a rank. Because as you said, you get bored. I think your generation is something which is little like Gen Z gets bored too quickly. The focus isn't always is an issue. But having said that, I don't feel that the focus is an issue for you. It's just that you get overwhelmed studying the same thing again and again. So I really got to tell this. So coming, I'm switching gears here, Pranay, because okay, tell me what you used to do in your balance time, like 5 to 6 hours you used to study.
yeah.
So what you used to do? Were you studying for CA final, or you were just doing other things which you really like doing, or some hobby or something, or a music, or what was that?
Yeah. So I'll try to like give you a daily rundown during the holidays. So firstly, in the morning, as soon as I wake up, the first thing I do after taking a bath is I chant. I do chanting of Hare Krishna every morning for more than an hour. And so I basically I chant the Hare Krishna mantra, which is for me an important part of my daily life. And I also spend at least half an hour a day reading Bhagavad Gita and other books, such the spiritual books. So that's a part of my life for maybe the last couple of years at least. And moving on, so again, coming to the career, and so I believe that I want to do something that I am passionate about. That's what I want to pursue. So yes, I spend some time. So learning is something that I really like. I'm passionate about. So I spend a few hours studying CA Inter and also a few hours studying other things. I'm just trying to learn more things. Could be CA final, could be the CS material, which I just sometimes read through. And also something I'm passionate about is video games. So yes, but not for fun. I play it for competitive level.
Okay.
So, so that was something maybe I played maybe around 3 hours a day during the holidays as well. So pretty much I try to keep myself engaged in things that were important at the same time things that I was passionate about.
And this is a very interesting conversation I'm having with you, Pranay. Uh, uh, Very exciting. Like, and you made a very relevant point. The point being, spirituality is an essential part of every individual. Somehow we are missing it. But once we have it in our life, it gives you immense power, and that's magical. I am a very, very spiritual person. So, of course, we do not used to have video games that point in time. It's like 20 years back. But I used to spend, until date, I used to do that, spend 30 minutes with God. Like I chant like Namokan Man, the way you chant Hare Krishna. So, so tell me, like, how do you think spirituality helped you? And I'm kind of digressing because you just did tell me your routine, and I do not want to ask you specific questions. I just wanted to just move around as we speak to understand how do you feel spirituality played a very, very important role in your life in terms of being what you are today?
So spirituality for me, one of the main things it does is it gives me a higher purpose and understanding in everything I do. So maybe if it, for example, in CA, one of the reasons I was not so focused on a rank or because I believe in the principle of not focusing on the results. So that comes from my spiritual practices. So and it's given me a better understanding of how I lead my life, and it's also changed my behavior. It's can help me be mature and to think properly and think wisely before I act, and to choose you choose what I do and what I think, and it's made me become a very calm person, and I felt like it has given me helped me develop a lot of good qualities like being like not being angry and and not showing harsh emotions to others, and even coming to studies as well. I think because of my spirituality, I'm able to have a lot of focus and not get distracted easily. That's something it gives me, and I feel like if anybody, it will certainly benefit you, whether you are a student or if whatever you might be doing. I'm sure it will give you some benefit.
You made a very relevant point, Pranay, and that is like you focused on the journey, not on the result or not the destination. And because your focus is more on the journey, you wanted to make that journey beautiful. So after 10 years or 20 years down the line, when you think about inter CA, you will never say that I slogged for it. You will say I did what I wanted to do, plus I did CA inter, plus I learned. I think learning is very important because there are kids who may just mugify stuffs and just do rote learning, but they are not practically understanding the implication of it, and that's where it will hit you hard when you enter the corporate world, because there what is needed is the conceptual understanding plus how you will put that things into practicality of for solving a problem. Coming to the next question, how do you used to approach theory subjects, because it is something which a lot of students say that is a little boring or something which they have to put an extra effort. So what was your strategy, Pranay?
Yes, theory subjects is a bit boring for me as well. It's not as easy to study as compared to the practical subjects. But for theory, my approach, especially for perhaps for audit, my approach was simply to make sure the first time I'm covering anything, to make sure I fully understand what I'm reading, and also to read the same thing multiple times, not just once and move on. So once I've understood it, I make sure to read the point multiple times and try to think in my head how I can remember this, or or try to maybe connect it to something, or just try to think of how what I can remember this, and then again come and then recalling, maybe hiding the book and trying to recall. So the first time I do it, I want to try to put it into my head, and then obviously for and theory, I think you should revise regularly to make sure you remember the theory. So in my case, yes, the theory, and you will notice that my theory marks are lower than my practical marks. I got maybe 64 in law, 58 in audit, and that's mainly, I would say, due to less revisions. I think because I think I would revise maybe once or twice for the theory subjects. But because of my the first time I had learned, I had made sure I had strongly understood everything, and so overall I had a very good understanding overall. So because of that, I was able to connect and remember a few points even though I didn't revise multiple times.
And what has been your strategy for practical subjects? Because as I say, as I understand, people love practical subjects because once
Yeah.
you've understood the concept, you just have to
Yeah.
imply it in the questions which you are trying to solve.
For practical subjects, of course, I made sure that I obviously focused on the conceptual clarity, which is the key for these practical subjects, because that's what allows you to solve any type of questions. So during the classes, what I would do is I made sure I had full attention. So for it to do that, what I would do is I had a few friends, but during the classes I would sit away from them separately, so that my focus would be on the teacher and making sure I didn't miss any concept. And if I had any doubts, I instantly asked them and cleared them. So I ensured that I fully understood the concept, and and then once and that's to make sure to understand the concept whenever there were questions that were being solved. When after a question was solved in class, what I would do is I would give myself a summary of the question, or like a breakthrough. I mean, breakup. So basically, in my head, I would try to recap what we have done in this question. So let's say it's accounts. It could be something like a consolidated financial statement. So simply in my head, I have an understanding, logical understanding of what goes on, instead of simply, following the process of like, first do this, do that, do this. I try to give myself an understanding that we have a group entity, we need to show that position. And so I make sure that I logically break it down in my head. So, and what happens is that I don't have to by heart anything, but the next time I solve any sum, because I have a logical understanding of how to approach it, so that makes it very easy to solve any sum. And even coming to revisions as well, I did not have to revise more than one time for accounts, costing, and tax, because I felt like I had a very good understanding of what to do. So I didn't feel the need to revise at all.
Wow, that's pretty awesome. And I think thank you for detailing that out, breaking that out for CA aspirants for the understanding. So it's for the listeners. Please, what Pranay is trying to tell as far as theory is concerned, that you need to revise multiple times because somewhere it gets a little boring. You're not very interested in it. Having said that, understands the concepts properly, and I think recalling is very important. What we forget is like the first time we have read it, we don't revise that point in time. And after a month, when we are revising it, we are just blank. So if I would have done that first revision well, which is along with and I've been taught, the recalling becomes very, very easy because then it's only the mind map which you are doing, right? And it's much faster. So please do that because then you don't need 7 revisions, 10 revisions, 20 revisions. You will be okay with 4 to 5, 3 to 4, 4 to 5 revisions also because you have done your job well. So coming back, how important, Pranay, for you to do writing practice? Because I know that suddenly you are a generation which is like more like this generation, the Insta generation, or being on the phone or the video games, I must say. So writing is always an issue. So do you used to write papers or you used to have a writing practice? Do you used to your classwork, homework? Just throw light on that because very interesting because kids bolte ki exam lengthy tha and we were not able to write the full paper though we knew it, right?
Yeah, I mean, for many students, that is an issue. And in my case, I made sure that I try to focus on speed and completion of paper rather than going into the details and making sure all the small details are perfect. Because I knew that in CA exams, timing is always very limited as compared to the amount of content that you have to write. So, but coming to writing practice specifically, I would say I did not do much practice or as much as I should have done. But in especially that specifically theory subjects, I would say I did almost no writing practice because I felt that my ability to remember was good without writing.
Okay.
And the same goes for practical subjects as well. What I would do is look at a question and make sure I've understood the question. I know how and just in my head I would do the entire stuff or solve it, or at least go through the process of solving it. And if I was able to, when because of my understanding and because of my logical conceptual clarity, if I felt like I could fully solve the sum, I would not do any writing practice.
Got it.
So overall, obviously, during the classes, yes, I made sure to practice a lot of sums. But afterwards, because of my, I would say, my conceptual clarity, I never really did any writing practice.
Got it. So, so typically it's all in your head, and you had a good writing like speed because when you are appearing in the
Yes.
exam. But did you write mock test papers, Pranay? I want to ask you that. Did you do that, or you skipped?
Yes.
Okay. You did write,
Yes.
did you write all the test papers, the chapter test which we have. So how test series played an important role? I mean, if you could just throw light, was it helpful to kind of just put things on paper which you remember or would have, or it was kind of a second, third revision for you when you were writing those papers?
Yeah, I think the test papers, the test series, I gave one test series before the exam, and it was good. I mean, it helped me to know where I stood exactly, and I think everybody should do at least one test series to know where they stand before the exam. And it also just gave me an opportunity to revise everything once, and I'll get some writing practice to understand what is the speed I need to be at.
So, Pranay, switching gears from understanding what was your strategy for studying theory practical subject during the study leave period, but what was your mindset when you were like on the day of the exams? And I did heard that tax paper was extremely difficult for a lot of people. It was little tricky MCQs, right? So, what was your mindset during the exam? Just wanted to understand how. What message do you want to give to kids on that? Because
I one advice I would give, something that I always had, was that I always believed in myself. That I believed that even if the world's toughest problem came, I would be able to solve it if I tried my hardest. And that belief obviously came from trying hard in many sums, in many tough sums, and still being able to solve it. So because and so I always, because of that, I even if there is anything tough that comes, I all in any tough sum or question that comes, I always keep trying, and I don't give up very quickly. So the same thing applies in exam. So I would suggest that you should not be afraid or worried about what will come. Instead, you should understand that what you have prepared to assert, whatever you have prepared, and you can certainly do it. And now in the exam, you can't control what has happened in the past. You can't control what the paper is. But those 3 hours are very crucial. And ultimately, I would say, in my opinion, those 3 hours in the exam are almost 50% of like of what matters. Are almost as important as your preparation, in my opinion. It's what happens in those 3 hours. So if you're in those 3 hours, if you're calm and you believe in yourself and you are focused the entire time, so then you can certainly do well.
got it.
And yeah, and that was my mentality before the exams as well. I was not worried, or I was simply calm. In fact, I was hoping that the paper would be tough because the first paper was easy, accounts. So I wanted a bit of a tough paper, a bit challenging paper, personally. Yeah.
No, nice. I think very well said, Pranay, that if you are well prepared, if you know that you have a mindset wherein you have a mindset of problem solving, any problem come my way, I don't care. Just tell me before I asked you the last question and then we reach to section B of this entire podcast and the conversation. I will not say so. You are already a player at some level and you play video games. So you typically, there's a competition which is happening, which you are doing it. Having said that, there are a lot of distractions which your generation has, which is OTT, Netflix, Snapchat, YouTube Reels, Insta Reels. There's a lot of things which is there. How were you able to manage those distractions during this period? Because I know it's life, like you have to live with it. So how did you able to manage it?
Yeah. So in my case, I would say the distractions were lesser than a normal peer for others, because I completely stopped watching movies and sports and that stuff. I would say I lost my interest for that because I felt like I was not achieving something by watching stuff like that. I felt like I had potential to be doing so much better, to be achieving something, to be doing something extraordinary. So I lost interest in a lot of entertainment. But still, I still think that, yes, distractions were still there. There was still, maybe you have the short form content that is still a distraction for me and for many others as well. So I think in my case, if I have what was helped me was firstly having a strong purpose. So I maybe are having a strong goal that this is what I need to do, this is what I want to achieve, and by having maybe an understanding that when you're what when you're watching some entertainment, it's not helping you anywhere, it's not getting to your goals. And apart from that, I think, and yes, I would say I kept my phone away from sight most of the time during those holidays as well. So that also helped me.
Well,
And yeah, and I've always been trying to.
coming to the last question, which is how you feel that Ednovate contributed to your success of achieving a rank, and how has it played a role in your overall CA journey till now?
I'm grateful to Ednovate. Because of Ednovate, I was able to learn the concepts from good teachers and who conveyed the concepts very clearly. And I'm thankful to all my teachers as well. And the study material given was also helpful. And it helped me, and it was good. It was useful. But obviously, I always refer to the module for every single subject, and I think every student should at least refer to the module, if not fully go through it. And get yes, and yes, I'm very grateful to Ednovate.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you, Pranay, for that. And but coming to the most interesting part of this conversation, which is my rapid fire, and you will get a hamper for this. So the first question coming your way is mummy or papa or sisters.
I can't say both.
Okay. Spirituality or religion?
Ritual,
Coffee, tea, or something else to stay you awake?
just water,
Morning person or a night out during prep?
morning,
Your success is because of parents, innovate yourself, all of the above.
all of the above.
One advice to CA students.
Just make sure you're focusing on the learning process. Don't worry about the result too much, and make sure you're always learning and being consistent, because staying consistent is the key.
Sports or books?
Sports,
One word that comes to your mind when you listen to this: success,
consistency.
money,
I mean,
CA.
I can't think of anything that.
Uh, no, so thank you so much, Pranay. You deserve a hamper because it was a quickest rapid fire which I had. So thank you so much, Pranay, for being part of this podcast. Really had a great conversation, very, very candid conversation with you. I hope you too enjoyed a lot.